Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wahyu Tami. I'm from Senior High School 1 Morobungo in Jambi Province. And today I'm going to share about my point of views about the webinar entitled Imparting Online Teaching Learning Methodology, which was conducted by Tie-Ups International, promoter of Links India Indonesia Education. Well, the webinar had so many benefits for the teacher to improve the teaching and learning methodology, especially teaching by online. As Mr. Rajib said that technology in teaching is not only used online, but teachers can also use it offline in the classroom. It means that when the coronavirus has gone or disappeared from the world, we can still use this technology in teaching online. In the classroom, of course, we can create so many fun learning material and activity by using online learning. We can use many medias and websites in the internet for our source in teaching. So it doesn't mean when we back to normal life, so we're going to forget this kind of teaching methodology. No, we can still use it in the classroom. In this webinar, Mr. Rajib shared about three kinds of methodology in teaching online. They are Google Form, Testmos, and Mentimeters. Actually, I always use Google Form in my teaching, especially if I want to do the examination for my students, because because the Google Form is easy to conduct and it's easy to understand, and my students are also familiar with this kind of technology, and it also helps me to correcting the students' score automatically, so I don't have to correct it manual, because the score will directly appear in the form of Excel, so I don't have to correct it manually. That's what I like if I use Google Form for my tests. And in this webinar, I also learned about views about challenges faced by children. I learned about how to make learning fun for the children by using some free websites in the internet that's shared by Mr. Rajib in this webinar. Mr. Rajib shared about how to teach interactively by using Mentimeter for making quiz online. And this is something new for me because I never use it for my teaching. As I browsed in Google and as I learned with Mr. Rajib that Mentimeter is a presentation software to create fun and interactive presentation on teaching, and maybe I will try it someday and I will learn it more about Mentimeter, because Mentimeter is fun and interactive learning for my students. And beside Mentimeters, there are also Testmos and Slido demonstration, and those three kinds of method is new for me because I never use it, and maybe next time I will try to use it like what Mr. Rajib have taught us in the webinar. Okay, I guess that's all of my point of views about the webinar. After all, the webinar is so useful, so good for the teachers, and I hope there will be also the webinar like this for the next webinar. And thank you so much for the information, for the new knowledge given in this webinar. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.